How did historical context shape John Locke's radical ideas? Imagine living through a time when kings claimed divine right to rule and the idea of individual rights was almost unheard of. That was the world John Locke was born into. The 17th century in England was full of chaos and change. There was a fierce fight between monarchs and parliament over who should hold power. Religious conflicts tore communities apart, with Protestants and Catholics clashing over beliefs and authority. Locke saw all this turmoil and it pushed him to think differently about government and rights. He experienced the English Civil War, which was a brutal struggle over who should be in charge. King Charles I was executed, and England briefly became a republic under Oliver Cromwell. Later, the monarchy was restored, but the issues of authority and individual freedom remained unresolved. Then came the Glorious Revolution of 1688, which peacefully replaced King James II with William and Mary. This shift made it clear that rulers needed the consent of the people to stay in power. Locke's ideas grew out of this environment. He believed that governments should protect people's natural rights to life, liberty, and property. If they didn't, citizens had the right to overthrow them. Locke's ideas about property were also shaped by the rise of a growing middle class involved in trade and labor. He argued that people acquire ownership by working on resources, which supported economic freedom and challenged aristocratic privileges. This was a big shift from the idea that land and wealth belonged only to the noble class. Locke's emphasis on individual ownership and self-ownership became a foundation for libertarian thought, which values personal freedom and limited government interference. Religious conflicts also played a role. Locke believed in religious toleration, except when practices threatened public order. He wanted to separate church and state to prevent rulers from using religion to justify oppression. His ideas about limiting government and protecting individual rights were radical because they challenged the accepted authority of monarchs and divine right. All these historical events and social changes made Locke see government as a tool to serve the people, not rule over them. His ideas laid the groundwork for modern liberalism and libertarianism by emphasizing that government should exist mainly to protect natural rights. His influence helped inspire the American Revolution and the development of constitutional governments that limit state power and defend personal freedoms. So, the political chaos, religious struggles, and economic shifts of Locke's time pushed him to develop a new way of thinking about authority and individual rights. His ideas weren't just theoretical. They responded directly to the upheaval around him. That's why his ideas about limited government and natural rights became so powerful and continue to shape political thought today.